Welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Welcome back, everyone. Thanks for joining me here today. Can't wait to get into our Friday review, one of my most favorite and most fun shows of the week, at least for me to record. I love this show because basically it's a little bit of insight into how my mind works. It's all over the place with a lot of different ideas, and all of them always wrapped within the health, wellness, fitness-based community. And I'm excited. And so one of the reasons why I love doing this show is I love to give you a lot of the updates as to what's going on behind the scenes. Sometimes it can be frustrating to my team because I'm sharing things with you that aren't going to be happening for months. And so people email in, they say, hey, is this happening yet? But we will always let you know. And I will especially always let you know on this show as well. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a couple research articles like I typically do. One about antibiotics linked to memory loss. Definitely going to want to check that one out. Remember, these things don't have to be permanent, but you do have to understand how they work. There's a new, well, I wouldn't say it's new, but it's a calculator. And even though the website is like Web 1.0, and again, I mean no offense to the person who created this, it's actually a pretty good calculator. And I was impressed. So I'm going to share that calculator with you and my score as to how old it predicts that I will live. We shall see, right? So we have that. I've got my herb of the week, but I'm going to do a special one this week. I shared it with the IHPs 2 weeks ago. The IHPs always get a little bit of advance notice, but this one's really important for blood clots, inflammation, pain relief. What else? Joint pain, autoimmune, infection, and much more. So please do tune in for that. And then I have my product review of the week. It is this mat that I'm sitting on right here, which I will show you. This is what I use at my workstation on my bench. But let's get right into the update. So again, one of the reasons why I'm a little extra energized this week, I just got back from a great meeting with one of our partners, which is Serrapeptase. But we have a few additional partners that are actually in the works. None competitive-wise. Basically, what Equilife and myself want to do is we want to partner with amazing companies doing great work that we can say, listen, we've done our due diligence. These people are legitimate. They've been doing this. Typically, the companies we work with have been doing it for at least 5 to 10 years. That's the minimum. Serrapeptase, 25, 30 years. Robbie and Melody are just amazing human beings. And so we love to be able to do an actual partnership with people that we enjoy promoting. Equilife is always going to be about the very best of integrative health in the world, and that it will be at-home lab testing, wellness-based protocols, and then maintenance-based plans, and along with our brand new iBowen lifestyle app. But we don't want to be the infrared or the best saunas out there, the no EMF, low EMF saunas. So we want to partner with great people doing those things. So we want to partner with maybe you. And that's the thing. That's the reason why I'm saying this right now, because we never know where these partnerships may come from. And it's not about money. So just know that up front. Like, we are not doing partnerships for the money whatsoever. So if you try to bring deals to us and say, hey, you're going to make this much money, we honestly, we don't, that does not matter. That's not the pinnacle of success for us. So I just want to share that with you. But what we're doing right now, and this is exciting to us, is that we're actually working with a lot of gyms, spas, fitness-based studios in the health and fitness-based space. So besides the great online companies like a Serrapeptase, again, hopefully you're stay tuned for my shows on that. And if you want to learn more about them, I'll put a link today. So all the links today will be at stephencabral.com/2408. But I've been sharing it on Instagram, and I'll share more later. I'm not going to be talking about that today. But I did want to put this out there that we are actually actively working with gyms, studios, and spas with our functional medicine detox and different protocols. If you have a clientele or studio of at least 50 to 100 people, definitely reach out to us. And let me give you a reach out email. So I'm going to have you reach out to, let's just do support@equa.life for right now. And then if I have a different email for you to reach out to, I'll pop that in the show note links as well. So support@equa.life. And in the subject line, just put partnership. All right. And so again, no ulterior motives, nothing hidden. We actually want to help gyms and fitness studios and spas that are doing amazing work with skin, beauty, health, fitness, be able to help their clients in just a greater way. And we've just had massive success with this now. I think we had about 20 or so in a pilot-based program all around the U.S. and actually a bunch of partners around the world as well, meaning Europe, Australia, Canada, etc. So that is that. I just want to share that with you. So reach out to us. Again, no harm at all, right? Like there's only good things that can come. If you have 50 to 100 plus members or clients that you believe would be interested in taking their health to the next level, we'd love to chat with you. Support@equa.life. Subject line, partnership. All right. What's going on, though, at Equa Life this week? Well, let's talk about that. So we love being able to share our favorite products with you. These are products that my family uses every single week, and these are the whole food bars. Super excited. Why? Well, again, this is one of those ones that my team won't be happy that I'm sharing with you, but in a couple of months from now, we will have our chocolate brownie back. So it's our chocolate brownie decadence bar. That was one of our absolute favorites, and I'll explain the whole story. But again, it's an amazing bar. We literally could not keep up with demand. And although that's a great thing, it's not when you want to stay in stock. So we're changing that. We've got a much larger manufacturer, and that'll be great. We do have, though, a box for you, and it is, believe it or not, completely free. This is our Whole Food Bars Apple Cinnamon Crisp. This has always been our second favorite flavor. Now, again, it's not chocolate brownie. However, there are times of the day that you may not want to be eating chocolate. And so this is a great bar. The Apple Cinnamon Crisp is my personal favorite. And for a lot of people who like to go easy on the chocolate, theirs as well. So this is great for back to school. Most schools, it's school safe. I can't tell you it's school safe, but it is safe of these 7 major allergens. No nuts in it at all. And again, free of those 7 major allergens. I'll let you be the judge because I can't tell you if it's safe for your child's school. But these are absolutely delicious bars. My 2 daughters love them, and I always take them on the road traveling as well. And in a pinch, they make a great snack mid-afternoon. Or if you're not able to grab lunch, you can grab 2 of those for lunch as well. All right, grab your free box, 9 bars, yours completely free on all qualifying orders. That's at StephenCabral.com/shop. All right, podcast recap of the week before we get to our product review, which is heating up nicely right on the chair that I'm sitting on. And this is our podcast recap. So it's Monday's show is how to create any life you want within 12 months. Please do check out that show. What I try to do was really lay out the basics and how it's almost impossible in any reality, physical or ephemeral or anything else, in order not to succeed within this 12 months once you follow a really outlined order of how to follow your dreams and goals and hopes. And so I really do want this for you, and I want you to check out that show for sure. On Tuesday's show is the MEP diet for lowering blood sugar and diabetes. I mean, this is now clinically proven. The crazy thing about this diet is that it's basically the same amount of carbohydrates as the standard American diet, yet it lowers blood sugar and diabetes. How is that possible? Well, I explain all of that on the show. Just sharing also with people that you don't need to go completely low carb in order to balance your blood sugar and lose weight and be healthy metabolically as well. All right. Wednesday's show is a public health warning on the new food scoring system. This is what I've mentioned on social media before. Completely deplorable that this is out right now, ranking things like frosted mini wheats as better than a whole food, even like eggs. It's wild when we have these things come out, especially from so-called nutrition PhD experts. But it is the world we live in, so we must be aware. We must share this information with others. All right. And then yesterday's show is the root causes of autoimmune disease. Finally, it's like finally one of those things we always say conventional medicine has come around and shared the same root causes for autoimmune disease that we've always known for, decades in natural-based health. But I'm glad that they've come around. That makes me feel good. It'll trickle down to your local MD PCP in probably another 5 to 10 years, but at least you'll have the research and you will know for yourself and your family. All right. Let's go over our product review of the week while this is heating up nicely under me. So this is something that I do 5+ days of the week. Now you might say, well, why 5+ days of the week? Well, this is a technology, and I wrote about it in my newsletter. So I do enjoy writing. It's not something that I get to do as often as I like to, but and that's probably because I enjoy speaking, podcasting even more, but I do love to write. And so the thing is, I try to combine that with always things that I enjoy too. So in my life, I'm into what I call healthy biohacking. So no silver bullet approaches, but things that have been proven by science that are also safe for myself and that I can recommend to you as well. So about twice a month now, I'm sending out a Wednesday email. You probably get my Sunday Rewind email already. But if not, go to stephencabral.com/newsletter. Hopefully that will allow you to do it. If not, just in the footer at the bottom of my website, you can just enter your name as well. But let's just make sure that works. And then if not, it'll be working by the time this show debuts. stephencabral.com/newsletter. And you'll just enter your name and email right there. All right. So what I'm sitting on right now, what I want to share with you here today is one of my favorite healthy biohacking-based devices. I've been using this now for many, many, many years, probably about 5-6 years of really using this product. And it has been shown to help with things like HRV, which is, for a lot of people, not something that they are tracking. I think they will in the future. I'll be talking more about that type of tracking as well. But it can help with overall inflammation, overall tissue repair, recovery from exercise. It can help with everything from neuroplasticity in the brain. It can help with balancing Th1, Th2 immune balance. It can help with overall pain relief. As I talked about, it can help with, again, I can't give you a medical advice, but helping with infections in the body, improving overall circulation, and much, much more. So the main reason why I use it, though, is for balancing healthy levels of inflammation, helping within circulation of my body, boosting mitochondrial health, and really energizing my body. The nice thing is the PEMF mat that I'm on as well also acts as heat. So it's bringing heat into my body as well as what's called pulsed electromagnetic frequencies. All right, so I'm sitting on it, but I want to, if you're watching this on video, I want you to actually take a look at what it looks like. So I'm going to pick up my camera just for one moment, and you can see that this pad is actually just over my chair. It's about a 3-foot pad. I've actually chatted about it before, but I've never shared how I actually use it in my office. And so I wanted to share that with you today. It's actually just, it's just, like I said, about 3 feet long or so. It's called the Higherdose PEMF mat, to-go mat, and I'll link that up here for you today. And what it does is it's a much smaller mat. It's much lighter. It's easy to travel with. I do have their fully extended one too, which you can lie in your bed. But I found that I had to dedicate a certain part of my day to lying down on that mat. And although I had the best intentions that I was going to, take a 20-minute, 25-minute power nap on my PEMF mat, it just doesn't happen every day. So what I wanted to do was actually use a mat every single day. And since I'm in my office 5 days a week, I just keep this on my chair and I fire it up first thing in the morning. That's what I do. It takes about 10 minutes to heat up. And the PEMF mats are working, or the PEMF, which is pulsed electromagnetic frequency, is working right away. So the nice thing is I start to get those benefits right away. And the F actually stands for field, so pulsed electromagnetic field, but you can say frequency as well. And why is that important? Well, the truth is that this is something that hasn't just been used in the natural health field for decades. It's actually been used by NASA since the 1960s. Why would NASA have any use for a PEMF device? The reason is this: the further you get away from the Earth's plane or level, the less of the natural frequencies you get from the earth. Let me put this a different way. So the earth emits a frequency that has been studied and has been proven to be 7.83 hertz. That's the healing frequency of the earth. Or you don't have to say it's healing, but it is what humans are meant to be connected with. They actually have tested astronauts from up in space, from the space station, and their health deteriorates the further they are away from the Earth's field. And so what they're using is actually PEMF mats up in space, and also as astronauts come back, exposing them to more of these PEMF frequencies. So it's not just used by NASA, not just used, like I said, by some of these larger organizations, but it can be used for everyday people looking to reverse aging and help to balance and heal the body. So I'm a big fan of it. It has different types of crystals in it, like amethyst crystals. Well, again, whether you believe in crystal healing or not, that's okay. I just know that they help to hold a frequency, right? So that's proven. So they help to hold a frequency, but inside of the mat, there are different layers of charcoal. There's different layers of clay. There's different magnetic base layers that enable you to get essentially supercharged with these proven frequencies. So again, I've been using it for many years. Best improvements are with HRV, with overall sleep, and with faster recovery between workouts. And my body type needs that. So my body type definitely breaks down and gets more inflammation naturally, just as my genotype, my dosha, than a lot of other people. So I wanted to share that with you. And of course, I always reach out to these companies like Higherdose, and I try to get you an even better offer. So if you go to today's podcast page, that's stephencabral.com/2408. We will link up the discount code there. I believe it's for 15% off, Cabral 15. And that's the PEMF Go mat by Higherdose. So again, I've been using it forever and can definitely give it my stamp of approval. All right, next up on today's show is another favorite product that we just got in. So this is our herb of the week. Again, I've been using this for many, many years. You can get these products basically through two extracts, one through soy or one through silkworms. We went with the plant-based, vegan-based variety. And whenever you see sometimes contains soy, it doesn't actually mean that there's soy still left in the product. So I just wanted to kind of give that to you as well, because I don't use soy in my diet. There's no soy at all in my diet. It does not work for my body. It may work for other people, but it does not work for mine. And I know that because I've tried it. I've used it many, many times and just didn't work. So, but I feel totally comfortable using extracts from soy. And the reason is that there's no soy left. There's no soy protein. There's nothing left. It's just the extract from that soy. So again, when you see a product that says soy, well, does it contain the soy isoflavones? Does it contain the soy protein? Those are things to look for. And since nattokinase and serrapeptase or serrapeptase don't from a vegan-based variety, then good. I feel good about using those. So this is something I shared with the IHPs, and I just want to make sure you know about it as well. I'm going to give you the exact dosage to look for any company, by the way. Again, Equalife does make the product, full disclosure, but you can use any functional medicine-based company in the world, literally anything in the world. I just like to bring you the research. And so you can do with that what you will. So the interesting thing about this product is it's not just believed by what I like to say, natural health-based modalities, right? Because it could be Ayurveda, it could be naturopathic medicine, it could be functional medicine. So let's call that natural health, all right? But conventional medicine, which really just believes in diagnosing disease and then giving you a pharmaceutical, and again, like I mean no harm by that, but that's the truth of what it is, right? Where natural health tries to find the underlying root cause. But even, and I'll link this up, WebMD, right? So WebMD is probably the most conventional medicine-based website in the entire world. Here's what they have to say about nattokinase and serrapeptase. So it helps with inflammation. This is what they say. But again, I have to give you my disclaimer. I'm not here today to provide any medical diagnosis, any medical cure, any medical advice or diagnosis of any disease if I haven't already mentioned that. Okay, so having said that, WebMD does say that nattokinase helps with blood clots. Okay, so just think about all the different people out there with blood clots for various base reasons. Okay, it helps with that. It helps with lung-based health. It helps with heart health. It helps with mucus buildup, also in the lungs. It can help with overall inflammation and it can help with some sinus-based issues as well. Okay, sounds like a great product, right? How did I use it in my product, Nattokinase, or my practice? Well, since about 2011, I've been using this because I use an electron microscope. I could actually see fibrin building up in people's blood because I actually looked at their blood under a microscope, and Nattokinase was the product, which, by the way, it's scientifically proven to help break down that protein, those proteins and fibrin in your blood. All right, well, what about Serrapeptase? Well, Serrapeptase helps with the sinuses, so ear, nose, and throat. It can help with infections. It can help with joint-based pain. It can help with autoimmune-based issues. It can help with mucus buildup and much more overall inflammation. So again, not my words. This is exactly what WebMD says. I will link these up. I cannot link up any nutritional supplements with any podcast that is against FDA regulations. So let me give you the amount of dosage to actually have a clinical based effect. Remember, getting 10 milligrams of these things, which people sometimes sprinkle in, is not going to get you the effect that you want. All right. You want 100 plus milligrams taken once or twice a day of each to get the clinical effect. I personally use 150 milligrams of each taken on an empty stomach in my private practice for people. Now, you can use double that amount for serious issues. Again, I'm not providing any medical advice, but I would use that amount for autoimmune issues. I would use that amount for things like psoriasis, which again is an autoimmune-based issue, for joint pain and much more. That's how I would use it. Now, would I do that dosage forever? No, I would probably do that for 2 to 3 months, and then I would wean down to a normal dosage of 2 capsules upon waking, and that's how I would use it, and then eventually wean off. This is not a product that you need to use every single day forever. And again, I always like to give you an unbiased opinion. I would use this for 3 to 6 months, and then I'd be off of it. And most people probably won't even need longer than 3 months. So that's the good news. I actually use this exact product. Again, you can use any functional medicine company in the world. Please do what you feel is right for you and your family. This one is, again, all that hypey marketing. It's called proteolytic enzymes. That's all that it is. These are proteolytic enzymes, and that's what it's called by Equilife. So again, I can't link this up, but you can always go to stephencabral.com/shop. That'll direct you to Equilife. You'll see that it's 150 milligrams of the patented version of Natto, which is Nattokinase, and Serrapeptase, 150 milligrams. And then it has 200 milligrams of rutin, which is a very powerful antioxidant and free radical squelcher. I wanted that in there. And so again, super excited to be able to share this product with you. It's very difficult to be able to make this, and we were able to. So I wanted to share that with you. But again, do feel what you feel is right and use the companies that you like best, or maybe that your doctor recommends. All right, 2 research studies for you here today. The first one, antibiotics linked to memory loss. All right, where was this published? Well, MGH, Mass General Hospital, right down the street from me in Boston, Massachusetts. And this was done on almost 15,000 women, published in PLOS 1 journal. And what does it say? Well, taking antibiotics for a cumulative total of more than 2 months during middle age was associated with cognition and memory changes that are typical in women 3 to 4 years much older. Take antibiotics only when your doctor thinks that they are absolutely necessary. All right, what does all of this mean? It means that literally it's aging you by at least 4 years. Okay, so that doesn't seem like a big deal, but if you take your average life expectancy and you drop it by 4 years, it's kind of a big deal. I mean, it really is. It's kind of a big deal, especially if there's poor quality of life also that precedes that, which there absolutely most likely would be. So what can I share with you here is that it's 2 months, right? So 2 months just means 8 weeks. So 8 weeks towards middle age. Well, what's middle age? Well, somewhere between like 25 and 55, right? So for 8 weeks, so let's say over the course of 30 years or so, maybe 40 years middle age, if you use antibiotics once a year for just about 20% of that time, then that would be, so like only 2 out of 10 of those years, right, per decade, then you'd be a candidate for potential memory loss, which is not ideal, right? So what do we want to do about this? Well, the good news is that antibiotics does not directly lead to memory loss. What it happens is there's actual physiological changes in your body that take place. So it disrupts your gut microbiome, right? And that gut microbiome can then lead to inflammatory-based conditions, which can then lead to brain-based inflammation and cognitive changes as well. So what I'd share with you is that go back to yesterday's show, episode 2407, for the root causes of autoimmune issues. And you can see how the gut ties into this, and antibiotics, of course, leads to gut-based issues. So I wanted to share that with you. The good news is all these things can be fixed. They really can. They can all be fixed. So, but we do have to be aware. And again, we can't take antibiotics lightly. Life-saving conditions only. All right. Now, the last one is, it's a website called livingto100.com. And, if this was not written up in a reputable article and referenced multiple times, by the way, excuse me, I would never have gone to this website. And again, this is no offense, like absolutely no offense to the creator of the website, but it is just, it's an outdated website. It's just an outdated way of taking it. However, that does not change the fact that the actual calculator is pretty on point. It only takes about 5 minutes to fill out, and it goes through lifestyle factors. It goes through stress factors. It goes to pre-existing conditions. It goes through BMI, but it also asks, but is your BMI high because you have a greater amount of muscle mass? So it really looks at things a little bit even more precisely than I thought. Looks at overall movement. It almost goes through the de-stress protocol. So I have no relationship to livingto100.com. At the end, they ask you to enter in an email address. Feel free to enter in, an email address that you may not use, or maybe even make one up. But you didn't hear that from me. But it will actually give you your score at the end. And also, you don't have to give your exact birth date if you don't want to give out that information. I never give out my birthday online. But anyway, that's just me. And so what was my score? My score was a 97. So it does not say I'm going to live to 100. So the goal of living to 100, which I have that goal of living to 100, I think I'm going to live to 100. But it says I'm a 97. So pretty close, right? We'll work with that. I think some of the answers that obviously I know, which drop me down a bit, would say I'm not going to live to that 100. Part of that is just looking at, again, healthy levels of muscle mass and just making sure, body weight and all that. But stress, all those things, sleep are all great. But again, there are a few that I put in there. I'm like, oh yeah, this is going to knock it down a couple points. And so I would say the same for you. Think about it as you're going through. Answer them honestly, because you want to answer them honestly. If you want to go back, take it again and put in what the ideal you would be, and then see what it is. But I love looking at that, because I'm like, oh yeah, I could work on that. I could work on that a little bit. And so check it out. Again, livingto100.com. Feel free to let me know. I'd love for you to let me know what your score is in the comments below if you decide to take that calculator to see how long your potential life expectancy is. And again, I'd say this is for entertainment purposes only. This is not given to give you the exact age you're going to live to. There's a whole lot more that goes into it, but I think it's a pretty nice calculator to take a look and maybe even find some areas to improve. That is it for today's show. Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning in today. I appreciate you. Fun show to end the week. I'll be back tomorrow with our Cabral House Calls, answering our community's questions. Take care. Before you go, I wanted to share a personal story with you. The real reason I began to get well finally is because I figured out what was wrong with me. And that might seem pretty obvious, but I went from doctor to doctor for over 2 years before discovering at-home functional medicine lab testing. These are the labs that enabled me to finally figure out what was wrong with my hormones, blood sugar, electrolytes, and gut health. And once I knew what was wrong, I could then follow a proven plan in order to rebalance my body from the inside out. This is why I believe so strongly in functional medicine lab testing, and why I've made it my mission to share these labs with the world. Now at equa.life, you can order an at-home lab test or lab bundle for you and your family and be able to complete it within the week. Plus, the EquaLife difference is that you're not left to try to read and figure out these labs on your own. We explain what your lab numbers mean, what they mean in the much bigger picture, and then how to go about rebalancing your body in order to heal. To see our full selection of lab tests, or to set up a free lab selection call to find out what labs may be best for you, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. And do remember, we ship these all over the world. To find out more and to set up your free lab selection call, simply head on over to equa.life/labs. That's EQUI.LIFE/labs.